All right, I am bound and determined to plant some corn, and I'm hoping that it's dry enough now to drive on again. I went and got that a while ago, a little bit of fertilizer, starter fertilizer for the corn, because I treat that like 3 separate fields, even though I work it up as one. This year, the middle section gets the corn, which is kind of handy. When you combine, I should probably switch my ways and just do half and half or something, but the way that that's the way we've always done it, so whatever. But we need to get us a tractor to pull this with. It's amazing how you can have all these tractors and still be short on tractors. So I really miss my 1655. I need to get it put back together. So we're gonna hunt something up and get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rossi Oliver Man. This is Buddy the dog in all his glory. Yes, he's just waiting to see what we're going to accomplish. But I'm trying to decide which is going to be the easiest tractor to get out of wherever it is. And it's probably going to be the old faithful 1650. I have a feeling, just off the top of my head. I have a bunch of them crammed in the barn, but I took the starter off that 880 this winter when I couldn't get another one to start, and I never got it put back on. I was going to take that one and get it rebuilt actually, but it may not be anything wrong with it. But at any rate, then I thought about using the Craig tractor, but I don't have the wheels tightened all the way down, so that's not a good idea. I really thought about using that junkyard tractor. That would have been cool, but it has no seat. So I'm not going to, harm myself to try to do something like that. So we're just gonna wait. That will have its day in the sun at some point. But yeah, 1755 would be a sweet one to use, but it is now a corn planting tractor all hooked up. 1855's hooked to the bean planter. 1655's in pieces. I'd use the 1365, but it won't steer. It's got a steering box problem. We need to figure out what its issues are. So, I don't know. Probably 1650. If it wasn't buried all the way in the back, I'd even consider using a 2-cylinder John Deere just to, say I'd done that once in my life. Brand new gate. Ah, lovely. Oh yeah. So what you're gonna want to do is have them packed in here so tight that you can't hardly do nothing. Let's put that on there. Let's check the oil. It's got oil in it. That's good enough. Fuel might be a problem, but I got some of that. We got work this summer to do to this thing too. I would very much like to, but we'll see. We got work to do to that 1800. Everything here needs work. Aw, that's what I was afraid of. I'm hoping that just it'll come into it. Hasn't been run for a long time. Oil pressure, wake up. Use some new spark plugs. It will smooth out though, I promise. It always does. See? Faithful. Whoa, horsey, whoa! Whoa! It's got gas in it, but it could use some more. I think also I might put some air in these tires. That one's getting to be where it needs to be replaced. But hey, we'll tackle that another time. We'll put some air in, and then, yeah. I don't remember, what did we all do to this? We put a brake seal in it, then we found bearing pieces of sadness, which we're just pretending is fine, because that, I know where it would have came from, and it probably won't hurt anything. There is a baby mouse, so apparently they must have built a nest in there somewhere. So there'll probably be a massive fire here shortly. I don't know. But what I do know is air in the tires. We'll put gas in it. We never put this back on. Wonder if that'll ride in the toolbox. The toolbox, which is equally full of garbage. We'll put it under Grandpa's half hammer. All right, I'll bring you back when I get the air in the tires. Totally, and have it up too high. We probably just as well shut her off, because power takeoff things, I never have got that adjusted. But the problem is there's too much slop in all that now, and so it won't hold it here, which would keep it off. So that's part of a problem. Yeah, I don't know where all that water is. Moisture, was it in the seat? Why is it all, I don't know, doesn't matter. It is also my hope to take the drone up to get some footage. So, of course, now that I say that, the wind is picking up for absolutely no reason. But what I have to do this time to make it go easier on myself is I really need to take something, a piece of cardboard or something, to have a nice place for that thing to land. It might be easier to push the tractor backwards than to... or not. Yep. Well, you'll go if I just had 3 hands. There. That's not really the right size pin, but that's the pin they gave me. All right, I'm telling you, friends, these old spreaders, about the only thing that's holding them together is imagination. The first one I started to hook to, I got to looking at it real close, and I decided it wasn't going to make it. So the chain, somebody hadn't put it up, and it was riding on the axe right here instead of on the sprocket. So I thought, boy, that we don't want that one. This one is so rusty, and the top pin where it has to be on is just paper thin. But I'm hoping it holds together for a few more spreadings anyway, because I'll need it for several more times. One of these days I'll track one of these down that's not too bad and buy it, so I don't have to depend on others, because you can see they're just ate up with rust, every single one of them that you deal with. Yeah, I mean, and they've been torched on and modified, and I don't know, they work good, but they just ain't got a lot of meat left for them after they've been used for years and years and years. The cross members, geez. All right, let me go grab a piece of cardboard or something and that drone, and we'll go out there and we'll see if we can make something happen. Oh, I should probably put fuel in it too while it's sitting up here, so I'll do that too. All right, Buddy the dog, you think we're ready to go? I think I got everything I need. Well, there we go. Technical difficulties or something. Hope it's not too wet. Did my piece of cardboard make the ride? Piece of cardboard, aka drone landing pad. All right. We want, let me think here. It was at 63. It was 62. Hope that's close. Some fertilizer is better than no fertilizer. Now we need to make sure. Imagination. Yeah, that's in there. Let me get my little electric bird up in the air and then I'll bring you back. Well, friends, I wish I could say this is the first time this has happened, but I just got some spectacular footage, except I didn't, because I didn't push record. So unfortunately, that did not work. So anyway, I don't think I got you much any footage of this. There is still a little bit to do yet. So I'll try to get you some shots of that. The spreading job suffered because of the flying of the drone. So that was fantastic also. But I don't know. Yeah, there we are. There's still a little bit of fertilizer in there, so we'll go spread that. I did it again though. I took off and started talking and did not have the thing recording. So that sucks. To see if there is a auto record feature so I don't keep doing that. is a feat of engineering to try to do all this, all for you, you know? So I can't, I'm gonna use the drone to be lazy and check. There's a little bit of fertilizer in there, but it is very difficult to fly this drone and try to drive the tractor straight and all that. So I don't know. I'm bummed though that earlier I forgot to push record, because that really sucks. Yeah, you can see how crooked I got by doing all that stuff. So I'm gonna put you down and try to run this a little bit out, and then we'll see what happens. Return to home. Uh-oh. It has the wrong coordinates though. I'm gonna have to manually land it. Let's see if it'll land on the little cardboard pad. This is a trick, friends.
Low battery. Return to home promptly.
It thinks it's unsuitable for landing.
Landing. Critically low battery warning.
Stop. Well, friends, I hope that got us some footage. That was miserable. That was the worst time I think I've had trying to do this with YouTube, but it makes some pretty shots when you know, get the drone up in the air, but geez. Well, between this camera getting too hot and that drone causing me all kinds of issues, I don't know what kind of footage we're gonna get from this. It looks cool from the air, but you didn't get to see half of what I shot because the thing messed up. So we'll have to do better when we get you know, soybean fertilizer and whatnot. Yeah, that was a struggle. That was one time when I can say that YouTube actually made this way more difficult. I could have had that done sooner and a lot less problem. Now I have a little bit of time. I can get going. I got a wedding I have to go to, so I want to try to get some of this worked in with the 9650. So we'll take this back and trade out. All right, now we'll see how this will let us down. Hopefully it won't, but I don't know. It probably will. Let's double check. It's got oil in it. Some oil is better than no oil. What do you think, Buddy the dog? That's what I thought. It'd be real cool if I had taken all these extra parts out of here. Sure. It's not gonna make that turn. I don't think. Front wheel assist tractor takes 40 acres to turn. 9 to 10 shift. Oh, fun. There we go. I step on the clutch and it makes it not jar you out of your seat. Spoiler alert, I had a guy reach out to me and wanted to buy this tractor. I don't know if I want to sell it yet or not. It's awful nice, but I don't know. A silver one would fit in better around here. He actually wanted to trade, so I don't know. I'm thinking that over. $13, $14, $15, $16, $17. Probably good enough. $16, $15, $14, $13, $12, $10. Now, we got enough power to fly the drone one more time. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I bought it, I might as well use it. This time I won't forget to push record right away, because that is a dumb maneuver. All right, here we go. footage. So now we can just farm for fun, now that I've satisfied you guys. So we'll see what happens, but I'm gonna try to finish this. I probably won't finish it before I gotta leave for this thing, but I can at least get some of it done. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll bring you back if something interesting happens, or when I get back and have to continue this. It's working pretty good, except for when it doesn't. There's a few places where it's drug up big piles, and I'm gonna have to address that. Truth be told, I probably should have dissed it one more time, just because of the amount of grass clods and stuff. Also, if I had dissed it once and then waited like 4 or 5 days and then done it again, it would have been in a lot better shape. It would have given time for that stuff to dry up. Because you can see in some of the places it's beautiful, but in the places with the heavy grass, not so much. Still good enough to plant corn into though. So yeah. All right, so some people, when they have to leave, they set an alarm. I just like for things to unravel in a spectacular fashion. That's what we have going on back here. Both bearings, it appears, went out of this rolling basket. So that's fantastic. And the other thing is, I don't think I have any. So we're probably going to be trying out our field cultivator that we bought, because this is the exact reason that I bought it, with the idea that when bad things happened, a guy could just probably, oh, I've never had that do that before. That bearing actually didn't go out. The other one went out so good that it pulled the basket out from the center and then promptly slammed into it and busted it. But that's okay. That means both housings are still good, probably. It's just bearings. And I'm afraid that I don't have any. So that's nifty, but like I said, we got that field cultivator. It can't do worse than this. I mean, it should be fine. It's just one thing though, after another, friends. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.